friends. Hello. And if something pops up during practice, please feel free to type it into the chat and I will pop over and take a look. So welcome everybody, sitting up nice and tall. So find your sitting bones and then find that evenness from left to right. Oh, I see a few more people popped on and said something. Let me peek. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Feet. Okay. Hi, Anna. So happy you brought Feel Good Friday back. Yeah, Anna, me too. Woo woo. Yeah, and so right now I'm still on summer vacation since I did take a position with the school district here in Las Vegas. So I'm going to be heading back to the classroom, and I have about a month until school starts. But I'll be back in the classroom about 10 days before school starts. But I do intend on keeping this Friday practice. It may move from 4 to 5 p.m. I haven't really decided yet. It just depends on how fast I can wrap up my school day on Fridays. So just be looking in the schedule. It might be scheduled for 4, it might be scheduled for 5. So that's all I know about it right now. As I get into the school system and I figure out how the flow is, then you'll see on the calendar either 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So yay, thanks friends. All right, I'm gonna pop over one last time. I saw some more things. Okay, just feet. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. Just wanna make sure I didn't forget anything. All right, feet. All right, friends, sitting up nice and tall, you find your evenness on your sitting bones left to right and then forward to back. So just kind of maybe shift forward and then shift back until you feel like your pelvis, which is that bowl shape. See if you can find evenness front, back, side to side. Shoulders come over hips. And then I invite you to find stillness and close your eyes from top to bottom. And before we do anything, just notice what you're feeling inside of your body, what sensation is already present. If there's any aching or if there's any pain, go to those spots that you typically hold that tension. And let us begin just to breathe into that space and soften. And just a gentle reminder as we start our practice, our 3 principles, we find the appropriate depth for each shape that we take. We're not trying to find the end range of motion in our bodies. We're trying to find that sweet spot, that Goldilocks, that place of effort and ease. Rule number 2, we hold still. Number 3, we hold for time. So begin to draw some fuller, deeper, more intentional breaths into your body now. And then just notice your hands, how they're resting gently on your body. Maybe the arms feel heavy. Maybe the hands feel heavy. Can you send the breath to those spaces so they feel a little lighter and a little more open? And softening through your face, your forehead, your eyes, your jaw, your shoulders. Allow that breath to expand the belly on the inhales. And as you exhale, there's a gentle drawing in of your navel towards your spine. And if there's anything this week that has happened that you just need to take down, you need to take off, you need to stop letting it weighing you down. You don't need to carry it into the rest of your weekend. Go ahead and whatever it is, think about it and release it. This is an active release where we're thinking about the thing, the event, the conversation, the worries, whatever it is. Pretend you're wearing a backpack and you are going to carefully slip off that backpack. and set it down next to you. And just notice how much lighter you feel without that heavy, heavy burden you've been carrying. Oftentimes, the burdens that we carry are self inflicted, right? We weigh ourselves down with worries, things that have not happened. Maybe we're feeling anxiety, if we're feeling depression. Allow this to be a moment where you can come back to the moment that you are in right now, not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, just the present moment you are in currently. So gently breathe in and expand the rib cage, expand your belly. And then notice the exhale, how the body softens and gently shrinks. Taking 3 more rounds of breath right here. Before blinking open your eyes, just gently let your eyes cast downward towards the floor in front of you. And then maybe just gently tuck your chin in as well. So give a stretch to the back of your neck. And then inhale, float your head up, chin lifts, drop the head back just slightly. And then again, exhale, chin towards chest. Inhale, float the head up. Exhale, bring your chin down. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, head up. Exhale, tuck your chin. Last one, inhale. And exhale, tuck. And then inhale, lift your head to floor level or parallel to the floor. And then gently blink open your eyes. Come back to your space and a gentle turn of your head left to right. All right, my friends, let's get a little bit into some grounding. So let's address the hips and the um, stress. So grounding and hips right now. If so, I just want to address the tailbone too. If the tailbone is feeling a little sensitive, a little tender, please feel free to take whatever supports you have, blankets, bolsters, give yourself a little lift so there's a little softness to it, especially if there's any kind of pain. All right, friends, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to come onto the floor. You can move aside any bolster, anything that you sat on if you don't need it. We're going to bend the knees, and then we're going to just take ourselves into a forward fold. So feet on the floor, knees are bent. You can keep the feet about hip distance or a little bit wider. I'm keeping mine about as wide as my yoga mat. And then I'm going to come forward into this lean. So instead of a butterfly where I'm opening up the knees and getting into the hips, I'm just really coming straight for the spine here. So I'm taking the legs out of the equation. Again, if you need something underneath your sitting bones, if they feel a little tender, please add that. Right now, we're just going to come into that fold and be here for 3 minutes. So you take it as deep as you like. Maybe you start with elbows resting gently on your knees. Then you slowly begin to lean forward. Again, whatever props you might need or like for this, you can take a bolster. If it feels good, you can take a bolster like on the floor and then lean your head into it. That might feel really nice. Have a little support in the forward fold. Again, totally optional. Just keep allowing gravity to do the work as you lean forward a little bit more. So let the head round, let your chin tuck. Breathe in to the back body. Think breathing in all the way from the sacrum, right? All the way up the spine to the crown of your head. Keep using your breath to expand your back body. Release and soften on your exhales. Feel the sides of your body expand gently. Take a couple more deeper breaths here. And then slowly, as you inhale, roll up your spine. Let your head come up last. All right. And if you like, go ahead and gently straighten out your legs. And then give them a little wiggle from side to side. Just get that blood circulating back in there. All right. And so we do have a request for feet. So let's go ahead and get into that. Let's bend one knee at a time. And we'll bring one foot down on the floor while the knee is up, and then just gently kind of massage the long bones. We've been doing a lot of this lately. There's been a lot more requests for feet. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we're doing a lot of walking and we are noticing our feet need some attention. So let's take care of the feet now. Gently massage the long bones, pinch the webbing in between each toe. Good. And then massage each toe and pinch the toenail. A little energy medicine. Let us release the tension in our feet. Good. And then you can turn that foot over and take your thumbs and just give the arch a little massage. You can do the same thing, just running and pushing that energy towards the toes. Beautiful. And once you've had enough on one foot, you can switch other foot. Massage the long bones first. Just push that energy towards the webbing. And then when you massage all the long bones, you can pinch the webbing in between each toe. And then massage each toe and pinch the toenail. Good. And then when you're done with that, flip the foot over and then begin to massage the sole of your foot. Welcome, everybody. I see a few more people popped on. Welcome to all 40 of you. Thank you so much for showing up and being here for Feel Good Friday Yin Yoga practice. My name is Casey, and today we have stress, tailbone, hips, and feet. If there's anything else that you want to address, please feel free to drop it into the chat, and I'll come over and pop over there and check it out. All right, friends, so we did a little bit for the feet here. Good. All right. Perfect. Now, let's get a little bit more into our hips. So let us go ahead and take a full butterfly now. I wanted to kind of stop there. And then once we get into the hips a little bit more, I'm going to bring it a little bit more into some lunging, which I really hope we can maybe get into the tailbone for as well. So, all right, friends, soles of the feet come together. This time, instead of coming forward, I'm going to invite you either to stay up or if you want to lean back with that butterfly. Okay, and then whatever props you need. Hey, Cheryl, welcome. All right, and asking for some shoulders. Okay, for sure. We got you. Shoulders. Perfect. All right, so let's take it first into that butterfly. If you want to take blocks on the outsides of your knees, you may, or a blanket roll over the tops of your feet, which I think might just feel amazing. I'm going to do that. So take that blanket off of your shelf, like at a yoga studio, and open it up. And then you're going to make a nice, long, skinny roll. All the fringe is on one side over the tops of the feet. Make sure you give yourself enough space and then lower yourself down or stay up. Whatever's going to serve you best today. So here we go. Hi, Mamish. All right, soles of the feet come together, and then we are breathing here. This is a really nice grounding posture, so good for the hips, so good for men and women of all ages. So reclined bound angle. If you want to use a bolster, you may. If you want to come all the way down onto your back, you may, or use blocks. Really just depends on the sensation you are looking for. I'm definitely feeling a lot more opening here. So you decide what kind of incline you need. And you can also begin to experiment with the feet. If you want to take the feet further away from your groin, or further away from your body, that's good. You're going to feel a little bit more in the outside hips. If you want less sensation there and more on the inseam, then draw your heels in a little bit closer to your body. And then find that stillness. Find that gentle, but sensational hip opening. We'll get a little bit more into the hips and the tailbone after this. And return to your more intentional breath. So the breath that's a little more engaged, you're a little bit more aware of it. Honor your breath, use it as a tool. That's what it is there for. Keep breathing through your posture wherever you are. Notice if you're holding any tension in your body. So go to your go-to spaces and just do a quick check and a release if you are with your exhale. There's no room for judgment. It's just noticing. And that's all we can do. It's bringing that awareness to the practice. Isn't that so important? The awareness, the simple act of noticing something can change everything. Think about all the automatic behaviors that we have on a daily basis where we just kind of check out and cruise. I want you to start paying attention to those moments and tuning in instead of tuning out, being present instead of just doing it, right? Just be present with whatever you're doing, whatever task it is, even as mundane as folding clothes. All right, friends, begin to take some deeper, fuller breaths in. Take your hands on the outsides of your knees and gently bring your knees back together, whether you are laying down or you are still sitting up. And you can begin to straighten one leg out at a time. Give them a little movement. And maybe gently hug your knees in towards your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. All right, and then maybe you choose to roll to one side or rock up and down along your spine. Do a little rock and roll massage for your spine. Okay, friends, I want to get a little bit more into the hips. So we are going to take blankets if we need them. The blankets are going to be for the knees. We're going to come into some lunges. So find those blocks. They might come in handy. Take them to the top of your mat. Then kneel on the mat with a blanket if you need it, and then you can gently step one foot forward. Make sure that knee is over the ankle. We're going to line everything up. We're not going to do overstepping dragon. We're just going to do a little bit very gently getting into these postures, kind of like in a progression. So we're going to start up tall. Each one's going to be about a minute, and then we'll get a little bit deeper, and then we'll go to the other side. All right, so 1 minute up high. High flying dragon here, resting your hands on top of the blocks. Let that your hips drop a little bit closer to the earth. So I want you to think about the tailbone now, drawing the tailbone down. How does this feel? Breathing here. Good. Just breathe and get a little bit deeper into the shape. Time will be your friend here. Just a slow release. We're never trying to rush to the opposite end, right, of where we're starting. We want to just kind of ease our way into it. If you need to come out for a second, you can do that, and then maybe sink down a little bit lower. Breathing. All right. Next step, my friends. You can take your hands blocks on the inside of the foot, and then if you're using blocks, maybe the blocks drop down a level to the lowest level. Or maybe you bring hands down to the floor and then drop down to elbows. We're going to take this into, let's see, one more position after this. So it's about 3 minutes on each side. So nice slow progression getting there. Breathe. Try to keep that knee over the ankle for right now. We will have the option to go a little bit deeper in a moment. All right, friends, you're more than welcome to stay right here. If this is where you want to be, low flying lizard. If you want to take it into a winged dragon, go ahead and turn the toes out and lift that foot off the floor. So now the knee is winging out to the side. We have 1 minute here. Again, maybe elbows are on the floor or hands are on the floor, or they could be on blocks. Either way, hands or elbows. You take it to your depth, where it feels right for you to take today and right now. Use that breath. Exhale, release, let it go. Let go of all the stress, all the BS from the week that you just don't need to carry any longer. It's not for you to carry any longer. You've already done it. Let it go. There's no point in carrying it around. It's not helping you. Right? My mantra lately has been, if it's not going to matter in 5 years, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes worrying about it. That's been my motto for like the last couple of months. All right, friends, just one more breath here. And then slowly bring yourself back up. Plant that foot if you want to stretch your hips back for a moment. Go for that. Yeah. Whoo, that's a good one. It's a deep one. I can't tell, did you like the pose or my waxing philosophy here? Right? Honestly, I think it's the five years, right? It's not going to matter in 5 years. Don't spend 5 minutes worrying about it. Right? We really have to start paying attention and, what are we giving our energy to? Like, what are we feeding into? Is this the person I want to be? Is this the life I want to live? Okay, friends, go ahead and switch out your feet. Other footsteps forward, knee over ankle, hands on blocks, one on each side of the knee. Next level, we'll bring them on the inside. So again, just kind of sink, see how it feels. Good. Breathe. I'm just going to pop over to the chat. Yes, I tell myself stress is an inside job. Why do I choose it? Exactly, sister. You got it, right? It's all self-inflicted. And honestly, like the sooner you figure out your suffering is self-inflicted, who wants to live in suffering, right? I mean, all right, how much time do we have here? Okay. I'll wait for the next cycle, for the next minute, and then I'll wax on. Yep. All right, just sink a little bit lower. And then when you're ready, walk those blocks on the inside, drop them down if you like. This is minute number 2. So hands on the inside, wherever you want them. Hands or elbows. And then again, we're just working our way a little bit deeper into this hip stretch. Again, drop that tailbone. Going back to the idea of stress and conflict and the things we have going on in our lives, the things that we view as problematic. That's the exact reason we're viewing it as problematic. Can we look at it as an opportunity to grow, to learn, to expand, to, see our shortcomings and say, you know what, that's something I want to work on. I want to get better. Like, we don't want to be the same person from 5 years from now. We want to be different. Hopefully we want to be better and grow. And if we keep on that carousel, and then if you want to go deeper, you can. Let's wing it out. If you're ready to do that, lift that foot off the floor, knee opens up to the side. Suffering is self-inflicted. Suffering is a choice. Happiness is also a choice. So you get to choose suffering or you get to choose happiness. Some days I choose violence. I know, right? It's the joys of being a Gemini. Most of the time I want peace, but there's some days where it's like all the suffering just comes up. And then what do we do with that? What do we do with the things that cause us to suffer? Well, like what I said at the beginning, we can take it off. We don't have to carry it with us. We can set it down. Because if it's not going to matter in 5 years, why are we stressing out? Why are we causing our own suffering? Isn't there enough suffering that we don't have to cause our own? Like, it's all of our own drama. Self-induced drama. I don't like to live in that any longer. I gave that stuff up. All right, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Slowly lift up, stretch those hips back. Stretch out that leg, come into a half split here. Good. Do you want to bend the knee and come in and out of that? You can. And then as you're ready, you can step your leg back, come to all fours. And then do a nice little child's pose. And then we're going to get into the shoulders and the low back and the hips and the tailbone. It's going to be a good one, I promise you. All right, so Let's take a child's pose. Big toes come together, separate your knees. And we'll take child's pose for 2 minutes. So get yourself into that pose. If you want to bring a blanket under your forehead or a block, you need a blanket underneath your sitting bones to make that connection so you're not just hanging out in space. You can do that. Arms can be lengthened, but then relax. So you can drop the elbows or arms can be alongside your body. It's really whatever you're going for. If you feel like you'd like to have a little shoulder stretch, I know we had a request for shoulders, then go ahead and lengthen the arms, but elbows soft. Forehead comes down. Breathe. And maybe while we're here, let's do a little inquiry, a little self-study and reflection. Where in your life are you causing your own suffering? There's my offering for the next minute and a half. What areas are you causing your own suffering, and how can you make it stop? Keep breathing into your back body. Think about dropping that tailbone, lengthening the spine, tailbone all the way to crown. Keep breathing. Your next inhale, friends, gently lift your head. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk your hands back. All right. So like I said, we're going to get a little bit more into the shoulders. That was kind of like a little pre-warm up for the shoulders if you took the arms straight. I'm going to come down onto our bellies. We're going to add a little bit to this shape. So we're going to come down and do a sphinx. So elbows are slightly in front of the shoulders. So this is where I wanted to get into the hips, the low back, the shoulders, and then we're also doing this lovely grounding with our bellies on the floor. So it's very calming and soothing to the nervous system. So anytime, we either do like a child's pose like we just did or anything prone, face down, it's very soothing and calming. So I'm going to bring us into a little bit of a half frog here. So this is where I want to address the tailbone. So push your pelvis down. I want you to engage there. Knee is maybe hip height. If not, you can bring it down lower. But if it feels okay and if it feels safe, you can make that right angle with your shin and your femur bone in the hip socket. So here we go. Let's take 2 minutes on each side. So breathing here. Chin can come down. Tuck it in. Let your head kind of just be neutral if you don't want to tuck the chin, or you can drop your head back. This is all very personal to what you're looking for today in this shape. So thinking about what I last, suggested, where are you suffering in your life? What are you causing? Where in your life are you causing your own suffering? Like I think therapy can be great. Therapy is fantastic. But again, therapy, much like Western medical doctors, they want to keep a patient. They want to keep you coming back. So it doesn't really necessarily serve them to help you and give you tools to navigate. I've had a couple fantastic therapists. I've had some not so great ones. But the one that I found the most benefit from was somebody that actually told me, like, these are the ways in which you have faulty thinking, and made me aware of that faulty thinking. So once I became aware of my process of my faulty thinking of like black and white thinking or catastrophizing, whatever I was doing, once I was able to, after I learned what it was, I was able to become aware. Once I become aware of the process, then I can change my behavior. But if you're not aware of your own behavior, you can't fix it. You can't change it. So this is what I think, like, we have the answers and solutions to our problems within us. We have to just uncover it and dig deep and keep asking why and why and why. A lot of people don't like to do that kind of work. I flippin' love it. Who does not want to understand themselves better, right? It's a positive thing. Emotional intelligence, my friends. It's amazing. Okay, that was 2 minutes of me waxing philosophy here. So go ahead and draw that right leg in, or whatever leg you had out to the side. Give your hips a little wiggle. If you want, you can lift your feet and do a little windshield wipers. Let the feet sway side to side. Get a little bit more into your low back. All right, we have side number 2. Side number 2, Sphinx with a little bit of a frog leg. So keep those elbows slightly in front of the shoulders. Lift that knee. Maybe it's hip height. Maybe it's not hip height. But find that spot where you're going to be able to be here for about 2 minutes. And then you can decide how you want to hang your head. Neutral, tucking your chin, or dropping your head back. It's all good. So friends, the thing is, do that self-inquiry. Do it frequently. Do it often. And you know the answer deep down inside. You know what you need to do for you. You ultimately are the one that has to make yourself happy in life. Our happiness is not dependent upon anybody else. That is our choice, how we choose to become happy. You can't rely on other people to bring us happiness. They can add to our happiness, they can compound it, but other people cannot be the source of our happiness. Do not give your power away to other people, right? If that's anything I've learned in the last 45 years, it's that. You have control over your life. If you don't like your job, quit. You don't like where you live, move. You don't like your partner, communicate better. That's what I've learned in my last 3 years of being divorced. It's about communication. Seriously. Talk to each other like you like each other. And be careful of who you plant in your garden of life. You know, it's your garden of life. Do you want weeds or do you want flowers? Do you want vegetables? Or do you want, I don't know, narcissus flowers in your garden? All right, friends, gently, again, bring that leg back in towards midline. If you want, just go ahead and take your hands, make a little pillow, rest your forehead on your hands for a moment, and just breathe. And when you are ready for some movement, bend your knees again and just gently take the feet left and right, side to side. And they get a little bit more into the shoulders here. Good. So let's take one arm under and then one arm over. So you're making, I'll go sideways, you're making a little crisscross with your arms like this. Let the elbows rest, and then you're going to bring your chin down to rest, or if you want to put your head on a block or keep it elevated, totally up to you. But it's a crisscross with the arms. And we're only going to be here for a minute. It's not a super long hold. Just notice how it feels. If it's too much, come out. Otherwise, here we go. 1 minute here. Keep walking those hands over as far as you can cross them. And then rest your chin if that feels okay. You're going to feel that warm, dull, achy sensation of the stretch for your soft tissues. But we're not using muscles in our yin practice. That's why it's a very cooling practice, not a heating practice like a vinyasa. This is all about the soft, feminine energy, releasing and letting go. All right, friends, slowly inhale, lift your head up, uncross those arms that way. Now cross them the other way, other arm on top. There we go. Let those elbows rest gently. Chin can rest on that top arm, or you can keep your head lifted. Whatever feels right for you. Getting some nice grounding here, being on our bellies. Getting a little shoulder stretch. So good. Good. On an inhale, slowly lift your head, unwind. Bring your fingertips under your shoulders. And actually, just go ahead and bring one arm across, and we're going to slowly turn over. So bring that arm, weave it underneath your body, and then just roll all the way over to your back. So here we are on our backs now. Good. And then just gently bring your knees together. Let them knock in together. Good. We're going to get in another little stretch for our low back. So find a block or find a bolster. I'm going to take one block under the low back, or you can take the bolster under the low back. And then we'll do a little bit for the legs too, just to kind of recirculate any of that blood. So soles of the feet on the floor. Take those knees about hip distance. And when you're ready, inhale, lift up, slide that block or bolster there under the sacrum or your low back, depending on what you have. And then just gently tuck the shoulders underneath you. So a nice little back bend here, but supported. Drop those shoulders down, open up through the chest. So a gentle lift in your heart space. And you're more than welcome to stay here if you'd like to straighten one leg or maybe both legs. See how that feels on your body. And if you go, you know what? I have a little bit more. I can go a little bit higher on this block. You can do that. So when you're ready, pop it up if you're ready. Make sure it's in the right spot. So low back, sacrum, that triangular bony piece, not the low back, not like in the L, the lumbar. I want it lower. And then once you're there and it feels okay, again, maybe you straighten one leg, maybe both legs. So now you might feel it in the hip flexors now. Breathing here. And if straightening the legs does not work, you can keep your feet on the ground, knees bent. And then whatever you're on, a bolster or a block, gonna carefully bring one knee in towards your chest And then the other. And then carefully straighten your legs up towards the sky. Find that sweet spot where you don't feel like you're having to hold your legs up there, just kind of floating. So there might be a little bend in your knees. Just let all that blood flow the other way. Breathing here. And gently begin to bend your knees. Plant your feet on the floor. Just take a breath. Nice full inhale, complete exhale. Inhale, floats your hips up. Remove that block and come all the way down onto your back. Keep your knees bent, feet are on the floor. And then you can walk your feet as wide as your yoga mat. Going to come into a gentle twist, so bring the knees over to the right. You can stay like this, kind of this open position. If you want to close it up, maybe take that right foot and place it on top, just above your left knee. And we'll breathe here. Opening up through that hip. If there's another twist you would like to take, please feel free to take it. Maybe it's double knee, single knee, or twisted roots. I just thought this would be a nice one to kind of complement what we've done with our hips today. Gently release that foot off the knee if you took it on there, and then slowly inhale, bring the knees up. And you can windshield wiper the knees a little bit side to side. And then we'll do the same thing. Feet about hip distance or a little bit wider like your mat. Drop the knees over to the left. And you can take that left foot, place it on top just above the right knee. So you're going to feel it into the low back, hip flexor, and then just breathe here. Another 2 cycles of breath here. And gently remove your left foot off the knee. Inhale the knees back up. And gently hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little rock side to side. All right. Let us go ahead and prepare for Shavasana. So if you'd like a bolster underneath your knees, you can take that there. Or maybe you want the bolster on top of you. Maybe you feel like you need some more grounding. So take that bolster, place it across your hips. Or even if you have some sandbags are really nice to lay over the hips in Shavasana. And then have your blanket for your head. If you need to cover up because you get chilly, then go ahead and take your blanket, your shawl, whatever you have, and get nice and cozy. We have a few minutes here in our final position, our Shavasana. So, as you're ready, come down to your back. Let your head be on the flat part of your skull. You can rock your head a little side to side to find it. And then when you find yourself looking directly at the ceiling in that neutral position, so you're not tucking your chin and your chin isn't lifted, it's right in between. Just breathe. This is your Shavasana state. Arms can be alongside you, or elbows bent and hands resting on your belly. Find that stillness once again. This is the most important pose of the whole practice. Finding the stillness, finding that peace. We feel light. We feel open. We feel calm. Release any controlled breathing. Just find that natural rhythm of breath once again. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Allow your inhales to be fuller and a little bit more intentional. And then a slow, gentle exhale. A little movement to your fingers and to your toes. Gently coming back into your body. You may add some ankle and wrist circles too, right here. And reverse. Good. Big inhale, arms come overhead. Exhale. Whew. Bend one knee at a time. Roll over to one side and just pause. It's so nice to see all of you here today at practice. Thank you so much for joining. And then as you're ready, go ahead and make your way up to a comfortable seat and we will close our practice together. Let me know in the chat how you're feeling. Better, hopefully. Did you get what you needed in class today? Yes. Good. Yay. Love in the hearts. Thank you, friend. And of course, if this class resonated with you and you enjoyed it and you got something out of it, your generous and thoughtful donation is greatly appreciated and accepted. So feel free to drop that in there. If you like, you can always donate to my teacher page. I think they still take a terrible chunk out of the donation if you use Apple. It's just such a scam. I hate it. Ugh, oh well. All right. Thank you, friends, so much. All right. On your inhale, let's reach the arms up and overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. We'll do it again on Tuesday, and that's at 8 a.m. That's in Tune In Tuesday Yin Yoga, same format. So feel free to come back. And then I have another class scheduled for Friday. So this week and the following week, I think I have them all set for the whole rest of the month of July. And then August, I'll just reevaluate. I'm going back to work, so I'll be back in the classroom. So no more Tuesday morning practice, but the Friday class will either be 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So just, look for it. Or follow me on here, of course, as well. All right, how you doing, everybody? Good?